Fans of EastEnders think they may have already figured out the outcome of Vicki Fowler and Ross Marshall's explosive wedding storyline, all thanks to one tiny detail spotted in a behind-the-scenes Instagram video. Soap fans deserve detective badges at this point. The drama-filled wedding episode isn't set to air until May 27, 2026, but eagle-eyed viewers are already convinced they know exactly how things end for Vicki and Ross. The clue? A wedding ring spotted on actress Alice Haig's finger while she was dressed as Vicki. The discovery came after EastEnders shared a fun backstage clip on Instagram featuring Alice and co-star Steven, who plays Vicki's on-screen brother Mark. In the video, the pair took part in a lighthearted, Find the Number challenge, with the caption reading, "Find the Number challenge with Alice and Steven." Seems innocent enough, right? Well, not according to fans. Within minutes of the video going online, viewers zoomed in on Alice's left hand and spotted what appeared to be a wedding ring. And because she was still in full Vicki costume, fans immediately started putting the pieces together. One fan posted on X, "Alice wearing a wedding ring. So despite the chaos at their wedding, Ross and Vicki still get married FFS." And honestly, it's not hard to see why people are spiraling. The upcoming wedding storyline has already been teased as complete chaos, with Vicki caught in the middle of a messy love triangle involving fiancé Ross Marshall and Zach Hudson. While preparations for the big day are underway, things quickly go off the rails when Vicki's secret affair with Zach threatens to come out. Spoilers suggest the drama kicks off after Vicki and Zach share a passionate kiss, with rumors spreading around Albert Square that somebody may even have photographic evidence of the affair. Because this is EastEnders, keeping secrets quiet for more than 5 minutes is basically impossible. As the wedding day approaches, tensions are already running high, especially with ongoing issues surrounding Ross's son Joel, adding even more pressure to an already complicated situation. Naturally, fans had been expecting the wedding to completely implode before Vicki and Ross even made it down the aisle. But now, thanks to that sneaky ring sighting, viewers are wondering if the pair somehow managed to go through with the ceremony after all. Of course, soap storylines are never quite that simple. Even if Ross and Vicki do tie the knot, it doesn't sound like they'll be heading off into the sunset anytime soon. Later scenes reportedly see Vicki forced into desperate measures to protect her new family, including bribing people to keep damaging secrets hidden. So basically, the drama is only just getting started. Fans are also busy speculating about whether another familiar face could return for the wedding fallout. Some viewers are convinced Michelle Fowler could make an appearance to support Vicki during the chaos, especially given how huge the storyline is shaping up to be. So far, EastEnders bosses are keeping quiet about exactly what happens during the wedding episode, but fans clearly think they've uncovered a major spoiler before the scenes have even aired. Whether the ring was an accidental giveaway or simply part of a clever misdirect remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, viewers will definitely be watching closely when Vicki and Ross finally say "I do" or "don't." The sun shone brightly over the village as excitement filled every corner of the street. For weeks, everyone had been talking about Ross and Vicki's wedding. From the flowers lining the church aisle to the glamorous reception planned at the old manor house, it was meant to be the happiest day of the year. But as guests gathered and whispers spread through the crowd, one shocking mistake threatened to ruin everything before the ceremony had even begun. Ross had barely slept the night before. Nervous and emotional, he stared at himself in the mirror while adjusting his tie for the 10th time. "You're going to wear a hole in that thing," his best man joked. Ross forced a laugh, but deep down he was terrified. He loved Vicki more than anything, yet recent weeks had been filled with tension. Small arguments had turned into explosive rows. Friends wondered whether the couple would even make it to the altar. Meanwhile, Vicki sat upstairs in her bridal suite surrounded by bridesmaids, trying to ignore the anxiety in her stomach. "You look stunning," one of them said. But Vicki's smile faded quickly when her phone buzzed. First she ignored it. Then it buzzed again. And again. Finally she glanced at the screen, and her face dropped instantly. "What's wrong?" her sister asked. Vicki swallowed hard before showing the phone. A local gossip page had uploaded a photo from inside the reception venue. But it wasn't the decorations shocking everyone. It was the banner hanging behind the dance floor. "Congratulations, Ross and Vicki, on your baby." The room fell silent. Vicki's eyes widened in horror. The couple had kept her pregnancy a complete secret. Not even most family members knew yet. They had planned to announce it after the honeymoon. Vicki whispered. Within minutes, messages flooded her phone. Friends were congratulating her. Relatives were demanding answers. Someone downstairs had clearly leaked the secret before the ceremony had even started. But things got even worse. Down at the church, Ross was cornered by his mother, who looked furious. "Is Vicki pregnant?" she snapped. Ross froze. "How did you?" "So it's true." Before Ross could explain, several guests turned toward him. The gossip was spreading rapidly. Suddenly, what should have been a romantic wedding became a circus of whispers and shocked reactions. Ross stormed outside, desperate for air. That's when his phone rang. It was Vicki. "You knew about the banner?" she demanded. "No. I swear." "Well, everyone knows now, Ross." "I didn't tell anyone." But Vicki was already panicking. She had wanted the announcement to be perfect. Instead, it had become humiliating gossip before she'd even walked down the aisle. Inside the church, guests exchanged awkward glances. Some wondered whether the wedding would even happen now. Then came another disaster. One of the bridesmaids accidentally revealed that the reception staff had been preparing a special gender reveal cake for later that evening. Within seconds, rumors exploded. "They're having twins." "No, it's a boy." "I heard Ross didn't even want children yet." The speculation became unbearable. Vicki locked herself in the bridal room fighting tears. Her father gently knocked on the door. "Sweetheart, people will talk no matter what," he said softly. "But today is about you and Ross." "What if this changes everything?" she whispered. Her father smiled sadly. "If Ross loves you, nothing changes." Downstairs, Ross faced his own crisis when his brother admitted the truth. "I might have accidentally posted the photo online," he confessed nervously. Ross stared at him in disbelief. "You what?" "I didn't notice the banner in the background." Ross exploded with anger. "Do you realize what you've done?" The post had already gone viral around the village. Guests were more interested in the baby drama than the wedding itself. For a moment, Ross genuinely feared Vicki would call everything off. Then suddenly the church doors opened. Every guest turned around. Vicki stood there in her breathtaking white dress, holding back tears but determined to continue. The entire church fell silent. Ross looked emotional as she slowly walked toward him. Despite the chaos, despite the gossip and humiliation, she still came. When she finally reached the altar, Ross took her hands tightly. "I'm sorry," he whispered. Vicki shook her head. "This isn't your fault." The ceremony began, but tension remained in the air. Even the priest looked nervous after hearing the endless whispers among the guests. Then came the vows. Ross looked directly into Vicki's eyes. "I know today hasn't gone the way we planned," he said emotionally. "But none of that matters. Because you and our future family are the best thing that's ever happened to me." Several guests gasped. Ross had officially confirmed the pregnancy. Vicki became emotional instantly. Tears rolled down her face as Ross continued speaking. "I don't care who found out first or how messy things became. I just want to spend the rest of my life with you." The church erupted into applause. Suddenly, all the gossip and drama seemed unimportant. When Vicki said, "I do," cheers echoed throughout the building. Ross smiled through tears as they kissed for the first time as husband and wife. But the surprises still weren't over. At the reception, the infamous gender reveal cake was finally brought out. Guests gathered excitedly as Ross and Vicki prepared to cut it together. "Should we really do this?" Vicki laughed nervously. Ross grinned. "After today? Why not?" Together they sliced into the cake. Blue filling spilled out. "It's a boy!" someone screamed. The crowd erupted with excitement. For the first time all day, Vicki truly relaxed. The fear and embarrassment disappeared as she looked around the room filled with smiling faces. Even Ross's brother awkwardly apologized again for leaking the photo. Vicki eventually laughed. Honestly, this wedding was never going to be normal. Later that night, Ross and Vicki shared a quiet moment outside beneath the fairy lights. "Not exactly the perfect wedding," Ross admitted. Vicki smiled warmly. "Maybe not. But we survived it." Ross wrapped his arms around her gently. "And now everyone knows our biggest secret." Vicki rested a hand on her stomach and smiled. "Whoops. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to EastEnders Spoilers Official.